Oh, and we're live.
All right.
Hey, well, welcome everybody. It's Friday LinkedIn Live with Boast. We'll give everybody a minute or two to jump in, but Matt, I'd like to see. I thought I was going to wear my Boast sweatshirt, and I was going, oh no, maybe Matt's going to wear his, so I'll just wear a collared shirt. It looks like we almost match. So
Look at
next
us.
time,
We're almost twinsies here. So yeah. Right on. I'm looking forward to chatting, Eric.
no, me too. I think this is fun. I think I was saying before we jumped live. Anytime I get to chat with you about tax credits, innovation, things like that, that's what we do anyway. We're just doing it live. So
Yeah. These are the water cooler chats that we love to have. So for sure.
exactly. Well, we'll give everybody maybe another 30 seconds as they filter in. But any big plans for the weekend? You're saying it's
Yeah.
nice weather there now. Is it going to stay?
It's gonna stay. It's finally nice out here in Vancouver. So we went from cold rain to summertime overnight. So we skipped spring. So yeah, it's gonna be at 25 degrees today. So pretty excited about that. So we'll get out over the weekend, get outside, enjoy the great outdoors.
Nice. Yeah, no, the
Another
same here. I think it's going to be similar, where it's kind of that 23 to 25, but it was snow in southern Alberta last week. So sort of the same idea from snow to summer and from rain to summer. So
Yeah. Well, let's go. We'll take advantage of it. Not bad.
100%. Well, I think maybe we're about a minute and a half in. Let's as people are still filtering in, we'll get started. But
Yeah.
need to do quick introductions. Nice to just see everybody. My name is Eric Grice, and my role at Boast is I work with our sales team here on the West Coast, as well as sometimes try to poke into customer success, other areas of the business as well. And I'm joined by Matt Funk. And Matt's our VP of delivery here, and a ton of experience, a grizzled veteran in give you a hard time. I think we're the same age. Maybe I shouldn't say
Yeah.
that. Uh,
Hopefully I'm not too grizzled and looking too grizzled, but yeah, I've been in the industry for, oh man, it's been 12 years. I had the privilege of leading our customer delivery team, which is our team on the ground working with all our clients and helping them through the R&D tax process. So really, yeah, love talking about these topics and love chatting about different types of credits and options that are available to help our clients and help companies innovate. Is what we do. So yeah, looking forward to digging into it.
100%. And I think that's the would echo that as well, especially working with the clients that we do and some of the work that we get to see some of these programs actually the impact that they can have. And so, I think one of the things that there's such a vast array of funding sources and tax credits and grants and things like that. But I thought today I wanted to try to maybe focus on some of the larger ones and the ones we see most commonly and that can spread across the country. Um, and maybe talk too about when and where companies should look at them, or if one should I be looking at one option over another, or there are ways to combine them, right? And so I think the place to start is maybe on the shred side, right? We spend the majority of our time on shred, and shred is available across Canada. And it's a program that's really meant, it's a tax credit program, right? So it's part of the Income Tax Act. It's something that it's a spend it and get it. So you spend the money, get the money back, and it's really set up to incentivize companies to take on, difficult, challenging work. And I wanted to kind of maybe hear from you directly. What type of companies should be looking at it? Is there anything to be aware of in terms of eligibility? When to look at it? That type of an idea. And is there differences across the country?
Yeah, no, totally, Eric. Happy to talk about it. So you kind of nailed it there. It's really geared towards companies who are innovating and companies who are taking on some sort of technical risk in the projects that they're undertaking. So when you think about shred and you think about, do I qualify as a founder? I'm doing some stuff, but do I qualify? Really think about three words: technology, technology, technology. And what's the risk and what's the innovation that you're undertaking there? So geared towards companies who are building products, building processes, and they're uncertain as to the outcome. Like, can we do this from a technology and technical perspective? We don't know if we can meet our technical requirements. That's exactly what the program is geared towards, to incentivize companies to take on that risk, because it's great for the economy. It's great for Canada. It gives us a competitive advantage by encouraging companies to take on this type of technical risk. And ideally, we know that it will result in some great innovative products and processes for Canada that can only benefit our GDP. So yeah, any company that's pursuing something technical and has some sort of element of a risk, doing some work in a field of science or technology, and any field of science or technology can qualify. So it's an awesome program. Been around since the 80s, and really large incentive tax credit. As Eric said, you spend the money, you're entitled to get it back with your corporate tax return at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think that's one of the key things, is just the breadth of the program, that the industries too, that sometimes people think, oh, it's an R&D tax credit, I have to be white lab coat doing R&D, and there is a facet of that, but it can be, we see agriculture claims, software claims, engineering claims, the runs biosciences. I can continue on, but there's not a specific subset. It's really on, again, that key that if there's a technological uncertainty, you're trying to overcome something, there may be the ability to claim.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, I think maybe, the other big program that comes up a lot, and I think this is where there's often a confusion or questions around, should I have one or the other, is IRAP. And I know that we may see some changes with IRAP coming under the new CIC, but for right now it's still under NRC. There hasn't been any changes, but right, I think because companies that are doing innovative work are often looking to SR&ED, and IRAP is really looking to fund and expand some of that work as well. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about where that crossover is, and maybe, should companies be looking at one or the other, or how to kind of maximize both?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, great question. And IRAP's another awesome program. It's been around even longer than SR&ED, and IRAP is project based, and the way the process works is you submit an application for a particular project that you're looking to develop, some technology that you're looking to develop and ultimately commercialize. Great program, because you can apply, and if you're accepted into the program, you get the money up front, and you get the money monthly. Actually, as you incur the development costs, you can recoup those costs. So great program there to really get your project off the ground, get some money in the bank as you spend and as you incur the costs throughout the year. As far as it relates to SR&ED, many of our clients will claim both IRAP and SR&ED. It's a great way to do that. So you can stack the two grants together and claim both. So with IRAP, you're getting money monthly as you incur these costs. At the end of the year, you also claim SR&ED. Now, you don't get to double dip and claim both. So any money that you do get from IRAP, you do reduce the amount of SR&ED expenditures, but there is a net benefit to claiming both IRAP and SR&ED. So it's not one for one. You actually get a larger amount of total credits by claiming both of them. So we see that all the time. It's really attractive to many founders who want to claim both programs.
And is there anything that people have to look out for, or anything when doing that, or is it more just a situation that, as long as you're not double dipping, I think, like you said, and just applying on that proxy or overage, is that essentially what you're looking to do?
That's essentially what we're looking to do. As far as looking out for it, we make sure that we calculate that amount that relates to SR&ED, in a precise way, because SR&ED claims sometimes do get reviewed by the CRA, and they're gonna look at it and make sure. But really, it's get IRAP, get that going. We always recommend that to clients if they're interested for that. They qualify. If they can get it, take it. And then when you get to the SR&ED claim process, just make sure that you're not double dipping, not claiming the same expense twice. But yeah, great program. And then no, again, like can't say enough because we hear this a lot. People say, oh, I claimed IRAP on this, so I can't claim SR&ED. Well, it's not true. There is a larger benefit. I won't get into the technicalities of it as much as I'd love to, but it is around the overhead. There's an overhead calculation. So
I could geek out on the proxy and things.
We could. We'll refrain from doing that. But the main point is, net benefit, larger benefit to claiming both credits and stacking them up.
Yeah, and I think my experience has been too. Sometimes with IRAP, some of the requirements around having to track time and work and things like that can kind of lead to best practices or use that for SR&ED as well, because some of those, there's some similarities there. So definitely a plus. And again, money up front with IRAP is great, and money after with SR&ED. So always kind of trying to maximize those sources of funding.
Yes.
One of the other ones, there's a couple other, I think, credits that we see quite often that I wanted to talk about, and because there's some differences provincially with these, but there's media credits across Canada. There's BC, Ontario, and Quebec have quite large programs there, and I know there's also some in some of the other provinces. Alberta here, where I am, we don't. We used to have one. It was I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that come back. That's another maybe I need to lobby for that. But I was wondering if you could talk maybe a bit about the media credits and how those, and especially for companies, if they're looking at claiming both, is there one that they should look at, and kind of who's eligible for a media credit versus who's eligible for SR&ED, and is there a crossover there?
Yeah, a great program, so called IDMTC, or Interactive Digital Media Tax Credit. And it's provincial program, as you said, Eric. BC, Ontario, Quebec, Manitoba, Newfoundland. I think Nova Scotia has one as well. What it is a provincial tax credit, and it's a replacement for the provincial portion of your SR&ED credit. So when you claim SR&ED, you get two parts. You get a federal part and you get a provincial part. So if you claim the digital media tax credit, you replace the provincial credit with the interactive digital media tax credit. And we strongly recommend that because the credit is actually larger. In BC, for example, the credit's 17% for the digital media tax credit, 10% for BC SR&ED. So companies that claim the digital media tax credit need to be developing interactive software. So typically this is video games, which is a really common example. Any type of entertainment software, educational software, something that's interactive. When I'm building a software application and it responds in a certain way to the input that I give it, and gives me some combination of text, video, and sound as a result of the different actions I take. I mean, video games is a classic example, but there's a few other examples there as well. Flight simulators, for example, there's many different things that qualify. So again, we don't double dip. We don't claim both BC SR&ED and digital media tax, but it can be a larger benefit. It's an application process to go through. And if you qualify, if you are building interactive products, definitely recommend taking advantage of this program as well. So similar to SR&ED in that it is a tax credit. You get the money back at the end of the year. There's an application process to go through. It varies by province, but a super great program, and really does a lot to encourage not only the video game industry, but any type of interactive development that's happening.
Yeah, we've had some interesting clients do some interesting simulation work and surgery and things like that. I had a chance to see some virtual operations, which was very interesting. But same idea where they're doing something like that, you're able to claim that. But to be clear with that, that's on the provincial side. So you're still able to realize the benefit of SR&ED federally, which is typically the larger piece as well. You're just changing out the provincial piece for the media credit, correct?
Yeah, exactly. And most often it is a large amount. Stacking these two together, SR&ED plus digital media, results in a larger claim than if you just claim SR&ED. So definitely worth exploring. And there's some analysis that can be done on who qualifies and should we claim provincial SR&ED or should we claim digital media tax. And it's a matter of looking into what the activities are and who is involved, and doing a cost benefit analysis to see which one's going to give you the most bang for your buck.
100% makes sense. And then one of the other ones I was really interested, because I spend more time here in Western Canada. I'm very familiar with the provincial programs, BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. But I was doing some reading and talking with my colleagues in the East, especially around Quebec, has a number of programs. Their SR&ED program is slightly different as well, and more, there can be some more benefit on the provincial side or larger returns. The other tax credit that they had mentioned is this, I think it was the CDAE, and I think it applies specifically to software. And I was curious, is that something, is it like the media credit where it replaces SR&ED as well? Or if maybe you can speak a bit about that.
Yeah, the CDAE credit or the e-business credit is one in Quebec that we see and geared towards companies who are building software in the e-business world and really they're typically later stage in their commercializing and looking to scale up. So they're at a point in time where they've built their technology, built their software, they've got some revenue that they're generating. There's some requirements and there's some overlap, and we either claim CDAE or provincial SR&ED. And we look at what the benefit is. Great thing about it is that there's a lot of activities in CDAE or the e-business credit that won't qualify for SR&ED that you're able to claim. So you can actually get a very significant benefit if you claim CDAE, because you can claim a lot of routine work that wouldn't meet the strict requirements of SR&ED. So we see this quite often as well. You claim both, and you're really able to get a lot of money back from the government. So
Okay.
super cool program as well. And really helps, again, those later stage companies that have some revenue are really looking to keep the development going and scale up their products.
So I think maybe the takeaway for today, which is I think where we started, is lots of interesting programs. And maybe there's not a one size fits all. So I think it's key for companies when you're looking at this, where you're setting up, which jurisdiction, and then I guess as well, depending on where you're at in the life cycle of your development, whether it's going to be SR&ED and if you're doing something like a simulator or VR or video games, so look at a media credit. And the CDAE, maybe as you mature, to shift some of that off. So it's definitely something that you want to have a strategy on and make sure you're maximizing those.
No, definitely lots of great options and different types of provincial credits that are out there that is super exciting and great for innovation in Canada. And we see lots of companies taking advantage of multiple types of credits to get their innovations off the ground, and super exciting to be a part of that. And there's lots of great government support for this. So happy to help people navigate through that. That's why we love what we do.
Yeah, no, that's the fun part. And maybe I think we're coming up on time here, so maybe we'll wrap on that. And the final note would be anyone that has questions on these or wants to geek out on proxy calculations and funky corporate structures, just reach out to Matt or myself. We're happy to chat. And everybody else have a great Friday. Matt, enjoy the weekend. Get out and enjoy the sun. Sun's out, and we'll talk to you on next week.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, everyone. Thanks a lot, Eric. Good talking to you.
Cheers. Take care.
Have a good day. Bye.